Recording. Welcome back. This is Working with Investors. The point is not to work, it's to generate income. Working with investors means you got to know the numbers. Investors are number-based. We are unemotional. Does that mean we don't love our children or have feelings? And if somebody calls us names, we don't hurt? Yes, of course we do. But we're real estate investors. We get over it. If somebody doesn't pay rent, we evict them. If somebody doesn't want to sell the house to us, we move on to somebody else. If somebody tries to sell a house to us for more than we're willing to pay, we move on to somebody else. And we're always very, very cutthroat when it comes to the numbers. Fair to say, yes? Real estate investors? Yeah. Real estate agents. Real estate agents. We're kind of the same, aren't we? We just want to go and find somebody who's willing to sell their house and pay us a commission. We don't care what they sell the house for. We just want our money, right? That's how it kind of is. Like at the end of the day, we're like, dude, whatever you want to sell it at. But if we sell it for less, we'd make more. Real estate agents know what I'm talking about. Yes, it's easier to make money when they sell it for less. Absolutely. So real estate agents and real estate investors were trained to negotiate home sellers' prices down. Now, real estate agents, are we also not trained to get our buyers to bring their prices up? Yes. If we can get the buyer to pay more, we get the house sold. We agree? Yeah. All right, good. So we're in agreement. We want basically closings happening. We don't care who pays what, how it gets done. We want closings happening. This training is about increasing your income. Who here wants to make more money this year? Hands to the camera if you want to make more money this year. Hands to the camera if you want to work less in doing it. Yeah, less? Excellent. Awesome. I attract a room full of lazy people. This is exactly where I want to be. Clint, Chris, Josh, Tatiana, Dorina, Jonathan, Susan, Kevin, Jennifer, Jackson, David, Desiree, Simon, welcome. We're here to learn how to increase your income while spending less time focusing on money-producing activities and working with people who can partner with us and hand us their money on our own real estate deals. Hands to the camera if you want to buy more real estate this year. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you like to use OPM, other people's money. Excellent, excellent. So I buy silver every so often, and my favorite coins say OPM right on them. Well, I don't know if you can see it. There it is, OPM. It's right there. My second favorite coins came from Susan when she joined the mentorship. Let's give Susan a round of applause. So I sell my mentorship for $1,000. That ends in December. At the end of December, it's actually going up in price. And Susan got a discount by buying in silver. I gave it to her for 21 ounces. And if you don't know what that equates to, it's about $500 because silver is exciting to me. I'm an investor. I will discount things because I'm excited about it. That's a lesson for anybody who's working with investors. Where my real estate agents again? Hands to the camera if you're licensed or getting your license, considering getting your license. Excellent. Excellent. All right. And Clint, so not a real estate agent. What are you interested in? Let me know, brother.
I'm primarily wholesaling right now and definitely looking to get into the buy and hold market.
Hell yeah. All right. Give Clint a round of applause. You're like me, man. Just trying to get that money. Just want to build up that rental property portfolio. I love it.
That's it.
Excellent. So my portfolio is about 60 units right now. We're looking to double that by the end of 2021. We may actually go way over that. We're actually selling a small piece of our company so that we can leverage way further and probably pick up 100, 150 units in 2021. As we scale, we want to make sure that other people are growing with us. And one of the problems that we have as investors is finding the deals, right? We're just looking for better deals, right? Wholesalers, we're looking for better deals. Buy and hold investors, we're looking for better deals. Flip investors, we're looking for better deals. Real estate agents, we're looking for people looking to sell their houses. And so when you think about investing and making money, and Clint, I apologize. Today, we're going to talk more about the buy side. So your side as a buyer. We're not going to be talking so much about finding deals, but on Monday nights at 5 p.m., it's all about getting deals, finding more deals off market, not paying real estate agents, going after the house, find the seller, motivated sellers, discounting them. Agents, that's a good call for you to be on too, right? Hell yeah, because listing, you got to list to last. You've got to list to last. If you do not list, you do not last. Now, Bigger Pockets. Who's on Bigger Pockets? Hands to the camera if you on BP. Hell yeah. Me too. All of my money comes from Bigger Pockets. Every student I've ever trained is on Bigger Pockets. Every client I've ever worked with as an investor is on Bigger Pockets. And when I went to raise capital, I go to Bigger Pockets. Does that make sense? Excellent. Passive investors hang on bigger pockets as well. Your buyers are on bigger pockets right now. They're in there searching, reading, hunting. Who here lives in Massachusetts? Massachusetts?
No.
No, hell no. Who lives on the West Coast? West Coast. Where you at? Excellent. Where you at, Chris?
Just outside Seattle.
Seattle. Nice. One of our coaches is out there. Who is East Coast? Hands to the camera for East Coast. Excellent. That's everybody else. Clinton, where you at?
Virginia.
Nice. Excellent. I drove through Virginia on my way down to Tampa. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful location. We hung out on Georgia for a little bit. Went right through North Carolina. We just said, fuck it, going through. So, but Virginia hung out for a little bit, just for a few hours until we got to the next space. Real estate investors are hanging on bigger pockets. Real estate agents start writing fast, right? I just gave this strategy to Dave Cordero. Let's give Dave a round of applause. One of the agents looking to bring him over to EXP, join the brokerage, hang out with us. Bigger Pockets has all of your investors. If you were to think, there's something called the Dream 100. Has anybody heard of the Dream 100 before? Hands to the camera if you've heard of it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So the Dream 100 philosophy, where I came up with 100 millionaires, the philosophy is that if you surround yourself with 100 people who have your audience, 100 people who have your audience, and you just hang out with those people and serve those people, they will give you all the business your heart could ever desire. And as a real estate agent, I started looking and saying, who's my Dream 100? And what I realized is I don't have a Dream 100 as an agent. I have a Dream 1. It's Bigger Pockets. That's where all of my clients hang out, is on BP. They're in the forums. So I started writing a blog. I started jumping into the forums saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? And then what I realized was something very, very, very interesting. As much as that was fun, and as much as that seemed valuable, it wasn't until I went and searched for my state. I typed into Bigger Pockets members, and I went over to my state, that I realized there were thousands of real estate investors in my state right now. And so when I went in and said, hey, I also live in Massachusetts, was the state I was in at the time. I also live in Massachusetts, and I see that you're in the same state. What's your experience in real estate investing? And what are your goals for this year? And then I copied and I pasted that into 20 different messages. And shortly thereafter, I started getting messages of people who are saying, oh, I haven't really done much. I'm learning. I'm thinking about it, but I'm thinking about getting wholesaling, or I'm thinking about, buying a rental property, but I haven't really figured out what area to be in. And as an agent, I was like, well, let's have a conversation. What do you think a good area would be good for you? What do you think is your goal? How much have you saved? Have you gotten pre-approved? Are you going seller financing? Are you going subject to existing financing? What kind of financing do you have options for? Are you doing flips? Are you doing single families? Are you doing multifamilies? Do you need hard money? Do you need private money? Do you need to learn how to raise capital? Are you going commercial on this? Are you doing asset-based lending? And by asking these questions, they realized I knew what I was talking about. Does that make sense? And they became loyal. And from that point forward, who here has heard the buyers are liars? Hands to the camera if you heard buyers are liars. Yeah. Not true. Buyers are buyers. You've just got to teach them how to buy. If you taught a buyer how to find all the money, how to find the deals, and how to close a deal, and how to manage a deal, will they not buy over and over and over? Of course. There's only two things required to be a buyer. First is a burning desire. They have to want it. They have to want property. And the second one's the money. And I put the money second because you can find just about any money if the deal's good enough. Does that make sense? And that's the truth. If you don't believe it's the truth, you got to come tonight at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, we talk about creative financing with Brett Reed, who is a real estate investor and a real estate broker in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And he and I talk about how to finance deals with creative financing. Is that something you guys would be interested in, a little creative financing? Cool. I don't use money in my real estate, not my own money anyway. I do raise capital. And I was asked today in one of my calls, I can't remember who asked, and I do coaching. So I was on 8 coaching calls this morning. And one of the students asked me, said, well, if you don't invest in real estate with your own money, what do you invest in? Everything else. Crypto, stocks.
That was me.
Silver. There's Matt. There he is, Matt.
Yep.
Give Matt a round of applause. So Matt joined the mentorship program, and there he is. There you are. And he was saying, he's like, so wait, you really do buy houses with no money down? Yeah, of course I do, right? Like that's all that makes sense for me. Like I'd rather take my money and put it into my own business, marketing the coaching program. I'd rather put it into, buying the silver or crypto or stocks, like, because I don't need money to buy deals, right? I just leverage the equity in the property already. If you've never heard me speak before, hands to the camera. If you've never heard me speak about big deals, right? How do you get big deals financed? Well, yeah, you ready, Matt? All right. So I bought, actually Ken brought me the deal. So let's give Ken a round of applause for bringing the condos. I'm going to talk about the condo deal that Ken found as a wholesaler at the time. Actually, not even a wholesaler. He was just an agent looking to buy property. So not even an agent. You weren't even licensed yet, right, Ken?
I wasn't even an agent. I just love real estate and loved deals, and I was just talking with people, and I came across a deal that, frankly, at the time, I didn't really have all the knowledge to do.
And now you're looking to buy 100 units this year, right?
100 units, 2021.
I'm looking forward to getting you to that, brother. I am very much excited to do it. So Ken runs across this deal, right? He's an investor. He's always talking, negotiating, networking, like finding other investors looking to buy properties. Everybody who runs into Ken knows that Ken is buying real estate. Does that make sense? So that is a powerful asset. And that's how I started building my empire also. Everybody he comes into contact knows he's buying real estate. And so Ken goes out and he as I'm communicating with these guys, and he's at one of our events, and he says, "Hey, would you buy?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm buying, buildings. I'm buying buildings, 20 units plus, 20 to 40 units." And he's like, "Would you do a condo deal?" And I'm like, well, depends on the price. And when he said the price, 40,000 a unit, I was like, well, yeah, I do condos, right? I'm very interested in condos right now at that price.
You were a quick conversion.
It was like that. I've always said no to condos at 40,000 a unit. I'm ready to learn. So we picked this deal up. Well, we get it under contract. Now, we're not the first to get under contract. Many other people have got it under contract around the same price, and we lock it down at 840. And we're going through financing. 6 banks say no. 6 of the best banks in our area say no to closing on this deal. And other investors are talking to me, like other sophisticated investors who've done really good deals in the city are saying, "Hey man, like I couldn't figure it out. Like, how are you doing that?" And I didn't have an answer, but I knew I was closing on it. I ended up going with hard money. I went with hard money, and I raised another $300,000 for the down payment because hard money required it. And so I ended up raising $900,000 at 12%. Who here knows that $900,000 at 12% means $900,000 means I'm spending $9,000 a month to carry that building. The math added up real quick, right? It's very simple math. $9,000 a month to carry a building. That brings in $16,000 a month. So it's okay to go hard money on a big buy and hold like that if you've got the rents there, if you can stomach it. We've been carrying that for the last 15 months. 15 months, we spent $9,000 a month to carry that building. We're refinancing it this week, and we're cutting down the cost of that building down to $4,000 a month. So you do it a little hard in the beginning, a little difficult in the beginning, but once you get into cheap money, that's a no-brainer all day, right? That's not the best part. We had it appraised because our hard money lender required an appraisal. We had it appraised at $100,000 a unit, all 24 units, $100,000. That's $2.4 million. That's $1.5 million in equity. That's what we call in the business a slam dunk, a home run. It's possible to do this without money. Now, here's where it gets a little crazier. We just had it reappraised 1 year later, 15 months later, had it reappraised. The average unit got appraised at 116. 116 is the average unit appraisal. We just made an additional $320,000. Yes, this makes sense. The numbers make sense. We looked like we lost about $120,000, right, in carrying costs and carrying this extra interest every single month, right? We looked, maybe we lost maybe 60 grand in extra cost because the rest would be real interest. But then when you look at the equity we got from buying it and holding it, the appreciation makes it worth it. Yes. So real estate, you can buy without your own money, but you do have to get good at raising other people's money. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later tonight at 6 p.m. It's a different window. It's a different Zoom call. But Darina, if you can drop that in the chat, this way everybody has access to it later on. This is also live. It's recorded on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you're interested in jumping into our live chat, you can ask questions. Darina, can you just drop the link for this call in Facebook Live so everybody has access to it? Awesome. Excellent. Buyers are in abundance. There's more buyers than there are sellers. We're in what's called a seller's market. Who's heard that before? Seller's market. Yes? Excellent. Okay. We're all sophisticated real estate investors, real estate agents here. So in a seller's market, it means supply and demand is on the seller's side. There's less supply on the sell side and more demand on the buy side. So when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? So if it's hard to get sellers, there's not a lot of sellers, all the other agents are competing for sellers, I'm not even talking to sellers. I'm going after the buyers. I'm going after what everybody else calls a liar. I'm just going to get sharper. I'm just going to get better at it. I'm going to work with where the money is, right? If there's all this extra stuff hanging around, and the only problem is that there's bidding wars and competing and people aren't getting deals, perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find those buyers, and I'm going to teach them how to out-negotiate everybody else. I'm going to teach them how to put in the right offers that get accepted. I'm going to make sure we're there before everybody else. I'm going to use my network and my communication skills with other agents to say, hey, get my guy in. My guy's a closer. We don't know about these other chumps, these other investors, right? But I'm the investor. I'm the one who works with real investors. So my guys close. Does that make sense? You work on that relationship with other agents. You get them in and make sure that your people do close. Of course, make sure they do have the money. And do you know the number one reason a buyer doesn't close? Once something goes under agreement, do you know the number one reason? Financing fell apart. Financing does not fall apart for me. We just get a little tougher. Does that make sense? We just do things that nobody else is willing to do, right? If we got to go hard money, if we got to go raise capital, if we've got to go and find the money, look, that just means I have less free time for the next few weeks. But then when it's done, I don't have to work for the rest of my life. Does that make sense? We get that? So being able to go out and find buyers and turn them into investors. So when I refer to my clients, I don't refer to them as buyers. And when I refer to my students, I don't refer to them as my students. They're investors. These are people that buy real estate. Like every one of my students is an investor. Every one of my buyers is an investor. Every one of my friends is investors, right? They're investing their time with me. They're investing their time in themselves. They're investing in real estate. I don't hang out with broke people. I just don't have it in me. I'm so past it. I just want to move people forward. I move people. And when I say broke, I mean temporarily broke. I'll chill with a temporarily broke person, right? Temporary brokenness is okay with me, but the poor mindset, I can't chill. I can't do it. I can only spend time with people who are growing, who are looking to get to the next level. It's okay to have a financial situation. Look, I've run into them a couple times in my life. Even with those condos, that looked like a financial situation to a lot of people. Does that make sense? To a lot of people, like breaking even on something of that size, or even paying out on some months we had to do renovations, looks like a bad deal, right? To other investors, are like, oh man, I would never do that. Well, that explains why you're still working and I get to do this for a living. We agree? Sometimes you got to do whatever it takes to close the deal, as long as the numbers work, as long as the equity is there, and as long as you got a couple of exit strategies, a refinance, rent, a flip. We flipped a couple condos to burn and turn them, to keep them going, right? We flipped 2 condos, made $200,000. That covers the portfolio for an entire year and a half. Does that make sense? We just split them off. We just said, okay, actually we sold 1 condo and the other one's under agreement right now. Actually 4 under agreement right now. Let's give Darina a round of applause for being an amazing real estate agent, making me money. Sell those bad boys. So it's about teaching your investors to get to the next level, right? An investor who's looking to buy 1-2 houses a year, every year until they're rich, is the only kind of client a real estate agent should be looking for. Here's another fun fact. Real estate agents tend to like to work with retail buyers. Retail buyers tend to buy 1 house every 7 years. Who's heard me say that before? Retail buyers buy 1 house every 7 years. Real estate investors buy 7 houses in the same amount of time, if they're slacking. right? Their goal by year 7 is to be able to buy 7 houses in that year. Does that make sense? Everyone of you knows what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause by being somebody who wants to get to that kind of unit count. If you want to get there, you've got to educate yourself. You got to build a team, and you got to stop making excuses. Look, if you're not putting offers in this week, you're not closing deals 2 months from now, 3 months from now. If you're not putting offers in next week, you're not closing deals 2-3 months from now. That's what the mentorship is all about. Like in the mentorship, who hands to the camera if you're in the mentorship? If you paid the money, been hanging out with me, graduated, awesome. So you understand that you're in a community who buys property. In fact, Ken is buying 15 units right now. Let's give Ken a round of applause. Phenomenal job. The mentorship is me saying no more excuses, no more BS. What I do for you, for investors, you need to do for your clients. Does that make sense? Who here is wholesaling? Wholesalers? When you talk to a seller, it's no more excuses. It's like, hey, you're going to move your life forward? You're going to get out of the situation, or you're going to stay here forever? Because let's be real. If you stay here, you're going to get what you had. But if you sell this house, you get to a new life, you're going to get the new opportunities. Your house poor right now. Your house rich, money poor. You want this stuff. I got this stuff, and you got the house that I'm looking for. Does that make sense? So who here knows a few motivated sellers? Who's ever met a motivated seller? Did you know that person's sitting on 50 grand? Did you know in a lot of ways, a lot of times that person's sitting on $100,000, $50,000 to $200,000? A lot of times they're sitting on a lot of money. And did you know that they're looking to give it to you? Those like a truly motivated seller is looking forward to handing you $50,000, $100,000 profits, or like my situation, $1.5 million. Like desperate to get rid of it because they can't get anybody else to look at their property. Does that make sense? Or they're too scared of other people to come into their properties and judge them that they're not going to put on the market. They need you to show up there and buy that property. So there's people looking to give you money. Real estate investors, hands to the camera again. Buyers, you're going to buy a rental portfolio. Is it okay if a real estate agent makes a commission helping you buy something that's going to make you $100,000? I agree. I've always paid commissions. You know, I carry my license. I still pay commissions on my purchase side and on my buy side because I don't care about I'm not looking to make that little money. I just don't want to deal with the project. I don't want to deal with negotiations. I don't want to deal with the other person. I'm the king of negotiations, but I want to do big deals. I want to be negotiating big stuff, not okay, yeah, well, I guess that seller does get that. We'll just paint the bathroom, whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, paint the bathroom, of course. Like, let's just do it. It's about making big money. That's why you're in real estate. If you wanted to just make an extra $5,000 a year, you go work at Taco Bell, right? You go work at like McDonald's. Like if you just want to like go Uber or something, right? But if you want to make $50,000 extra a year, you got to do something big. You got to do a flip. You got to get out there. Look, wholesaling, man, they lied to you, right? Who here was told wholesaling is an easy gig, make fast cash? Yo, they lied. Who's been doing wholesaling for 6 months now knows what I'm talking about? Yeah. Not easy. You know, the only reason it's easy for us is because we're flipping property and the wholesale's an accident, right? We're doing so much that it's like, hey, you know, I just don't want that one, but I'll sell it to my buddy over there who does. Like wholesaling is easy as hell for us because we got the network. We're crushing deals. We're doing a ton of business, right? So it's like wholesaling is easy. I should teach a course on this. And I do teach a course on it because I want more deals for myself, right? Who's been in one of my wholesaling training courses? Yeah. I want more deals for me. I want more deals for you. That's why I teach wholesalers. But I'll be real with the wholesalers right now. Like it's hard, right? If you want to make money as a wholesaler, you build all that skill of finding sellers, negotiating with sellers, going out to the houses, like doing the deals, locking it down. You're gonna make more money carrying your real estate license because your real estate license, you're gonna do a deal every 3 appointments you're on. As a wholesaler, it's gonna be every 10. And if you miss that 10th one, you got to go another 10. It could be 20. Does that make sense? Whereas a real estate agent, you can sharpen up much faster in the same amount of time. You can sharpen up. You can do 3-4 appointments before you start figuring it out, and it's okay. Whereas you miss that one on house number 10, man, you're broke for the next 2-3 months. Does that make sense? Yeah. Even better, what if instead of wholesaling, you just flip it? What if you just bought it yourself with no money down and just manage the project and you make 50 grand? Isn't that a better deal? What if, forget all the nonsense, forget flipping, forget wholesaling. What if you just went and bought the real estate and rented it out and you start making $1,000 a month, no money down, rented it out, you got equity sitting there, and you're just making that $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month. What does that look like? Is that a better life? And that's not even the secret. The secret is you hold that property, because who cares about the cash flow? The cash flow is literally just there to make sure that the properties hold themselves long enough for them to appreciate. The cash flow is there to make sure that the properties hold themselves long enough for you to pay down the debt, and that's when you really make money, or for them to appreciate enough for you to sell the properties to roll into a passive income structure. Something like a DST with a Delaware statutory trust, or a syndication, or a real estate investment trust, or some sort of dividend paying stock, right? Like something that's super truly passive, because rental property is not passive. Been doing this for a long time. I've been owning real estate for the last 7 years, 8 years. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing passive about it. Landlords, you know what I'm talking about? Where my landlord's at? Yeah. Passive my ass. Even like, though I got property managers out there and they're running everything, I'm still involved. I still gotta be like, okay, well, yeah, well, how about we cut back on those expenses? Like maybe no on the window this month, maybe next month we do the window, right? Like there's still decisions made. There's still money that goes out. There's still some months that don't cash flow. There's still some months that do cash flow, and then some that don't, and some where I'm like, shit, I can't believe I'm writing a check right now. Landlords know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It is a storage of wealth. Real estate is like this stuff. It's silver, right? But it pays a dividend, right? It pays a rent. It covers itself. It does sometimes make money, and it goes up unlike any other asset. Silver goes up 2% a year. Real estate on average goes up 5%. In the past few years, it's gone up 7%. Some markets, it's gone up 10%. Does that make sense? Silver, you cannot leverage this asset. You cannot go to the bank, put a down payment down, and they won't let you buy silver. Real estate, you can buy it with no money down as long as there's equity in the property, equity in the deal. It's called asset-based lending. You can buy it with no money down as long as you raise the capital from somebody else. Hard money, you go raise hard money, raise private money. You do no money down if you raise all private money. You do no money down if you go VA, FHA, or USDA loans, or Rhode Island housing loans. You can do a lot of different strategies to go no money down with real estate. Does that make sense? But still have the leverage of a $300,000 asset, or $200,000 asset, or $500,000 asset. So here's the magic, right? So say stocks. Who here's invested in stocks? Day traders. You flipped a little Tesla recently. All right. Or Bitcoin. Where my crypto guys at? Anybody in crypto at all? All right, a little bit. Okay. So here's the thing with Bitcoin or stocks or silver. If they go up 10%, and you say, let's play with a big number, $100,000, right? $100,000. You put 100 in, and Bitcoin goes up double. So now it's worth $200,000. But that same real estate, $100,000, you put that in, it allows you to purchase a $500,000 property. Let's say real estate goes up double. Let's say that value increases because you bought it at a super discount and that goes up double. You made $1 million. It goes up to $1 million. Does that make sense? Because it's leveraged. It's leveraged using other people's money. And now you can take that equity, pay off that debt, and you're walking away with a check. $600,000 check. Does that make sense? Getting 100 back plus the 5. Does this happen in real estate? Does the market go up double? No. Can you buy Bitcoin at a discount? No. But can you buy real estate at a discount? Yeah. Because it's not sophisticated people selling it. Try buying silver at a discount. It's hard because the price is out there. Everybody knows the price. Go online, bam, price of silver. That's what you get, right? Real estate's not like that. Real estate, every single house is different. Every single house is different. You can get a discount on a house because that person's desperate. You grasp this? Can you buy Bitcoin at a discount? Yes, of course you can. Can you buy silver at a discount? I have. I've bought it, $2, $3 on a spot. Same with crypto. I know guys who have transacted cryptocurrencies at a discount because they needed cash quick. But it's way easier to buy real estate at a discount because there's so many factors. Broken windows, roof is leaking, bad tenants. There's so many reasons that people get out of real estate. As agents, there's more money working with buyers than anybody else. There's more buyers on bigger pockets than anywhere else. Again, who's a buyer? Hands to the camp for you, a buyer? Want to buy some real estate, become a millionaire? Yeah. All right. You're on bigger pockets, right? Every one of you. Smart. And if a real estate agent said, hey, look, I got all the deals. I'm going to hustle it. Let's do it. I'm going to take care of you. You would close, right? You go with them. All right. Who wants to jump on bigger pockets? See what I'm talking about? All right. Let's see the hustle. Let's pull this up. Actually going to lose my screen for a second, then I'll bring it right back. Awesome. So that's just me on Facebook.
I got a quick question, if you don't mind the interruption.
Elizabeth, you always come with 2 questions, so let's get it started. Yes.
Oh, that's Melissa, not me.
Oh,
So I have,
you're right.
I have LinkedIn, right? Sales Navigator. So it's a kind of an upcharge service that I can actually kind of hunt by titles and stuff like that. Do you have any? I'm assuming I could do kind of the similar thing what you're showing here on that platform too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so bigger pockets. And I'll show you how to do it, Elizabeth. So bigger pockets, everybody's been in the forums. Yeah. Forums. All right. So browse forums, go to local real estate forums, and then let's pick one that's actually, you can search by Fall River. So I'll just search for a city I'm familiar with. In the forums, bam, Fall River, Mass, just written in November. So jump, November 16. Well, we'll see if it's still active. First, hit it with a vote. No, I already voted on that one. So I've already been in here. Hey, this is my business partner. Hit that with a vote. All right. So this is what they're talking about is I'm already all over this. Yeah. So I crushed it. Like there I am. I replied about 4 years ago. So let me go back and let me hit Tampa. So I'm living in Tampa. There's no way I did anything down here. All right. All right. Let's see, 2017. I want to sort by latest. So you want to find the relevancy, sort by latest, sort in your city, so you can find out exactly what's going on. So this is just written. Actually, this is a person, right? So I can connect with this guy. Connect. So here we go. I guess we'll just connect, right? So I connect, and I say, hey, I see you're in Tampa also. What is your experience in real estate? Also, what are your goals for this year? Do you invest locally? Screenshot that. That right there is exactly what I send out. And maybe you should just capitalize that A. All right, make it look pretty. But this is exactly what I send out. Then I copy it, copy, send. Now, if you spam on bigger pockets, they know. So every so often I switch it up. I go and I connect with the next person from Tampa, Kate. And I say, hi, Kate. Hey, Kate. Exclamation point, same message. Do we see how fast this is going? And you run down the gamut. When I get to somebody like Mark, I'll go and I'll be like, hey, Mark, I run a podcast. I can see that you're pretty involved and I'd love to have you on my podcast. And I keep going. I look for the newbies. The newbies are probably who I'm going to work with. Does that make sense? The people with almost no posts like Joseph here. So hit it. Hey, Joseph. Oh, it would be nice if one of them messaged me back while I'm doing this, but they never do. It takes a little while. Bam. 100% this message is about them. Has nothing to do with me. Does that make sense? We grasp how this would build a relationship, and like you would answer this question, right? Everybody on the call would answer this question if they saw us in bigger pockets. Yeah. a chance to talk about me and what I'm doing? Hell yeah. Let me go. Let me tell you about me. I'm pretty badass. Been doing this a little while. I'm taking this training right now. We're talking about bigger pockets as we go. So if I do hit when you feel free to respond, it makes it a lot easier. This is the member section. You can do the same thing in the forums. So you hit the forums. Look, we're in Tampa. You want to go by latest. And so December 16th, somebody's talking about buying without seeing it. Has anybody done that yet? Yes, I have. And I can hit a reply at talk to the person, right? Talk to the person in it. Raj Kushal from Queens. Raj. There you are. Yes, I have done it, and it's a mixed bag. Let's see. I'm looking to buy a property for short-term rental in Kissimmee area. I was planning to fly in there soon, but due to COVID, my plans keep getting delayed. My realtor there told me some people out of country have bought a property without seeing it, and I already making a profit. I don't want to lose on good deals and wait for things, but absolutely normal until they're absolutely normal. So an open question there is there to see if someone on this platform has really done it or someone you know has done it. Yes, I've done it. It's a mixed bag. You must know someone on the ground and have a strong relationship that you trust. It can work. Let me know if you have any questions on how to build that relationship or find that boots on the ground person. Cheers. Always be positive, by the way, to your success. Now, post, yes. Well, spell like shit, but it's all right. Now, how do I fix it? So going back to that form I just posted. Oh, come on, Brandon. You messed me up. I was on fire. Here we go. All of these people in here are people you can message and say, yeah, good point. Absolutely. Yeah, great point, right? Like, I love what you said there. So upvote, this guy, he replied, said, I did this 2 years ago. So then John Morgan. So you want to reply to John Morgan. Hit John Morgan. And this is making sense how it's, oh, not farts. So BP can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Let's hope that's him. There you go. Great job. Thanks for sharing. This doesn't take a lot of time, but it's extremely valuable. Wow, BP really, for some reason, I can't pull this out of here. Well, if this was my website, I would be getting hell for it. Once you can figure out bigger pockets and you get those screens operating, if you can go through the forums and make consistent contacts like that, that was maybe 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes for reaching out to 3 or 4 people and going into the forums and then saying a couple of different positive pieces, adding a little bit of value. This is reasonable for you to do, right? What it does is those forums stay out there for years. Did you see the one for 4 years ago in Fall River? People, when they type in Fall River, will still go to that forum and still see my name. 4 years later, I've got a ton of votes on it from it just sitting out there forever. So you can't ignore the forums. Yes, obviously the direct message is far more valuable if you're looking to raise capital, if you're looking to find partners, if you're looking to find buyers to buy property with you as an agent, then the messenger is going to give you fast results. But you can't ignore the forums because they're marketing. Seeing somebody positive, seeing somebody add value, seeing somebody, and obviously I spend more time when I'm answering questions out there, but seeing somebody who's delivering to the community gets people excited about working with you. And that's really what you want to create for yourself. An atmosphere of people who are excited to see your name, an atmosphere where they're at and you're at the same place, both looking to buy real estate. You never know who's going to invest with you. My business partner, the one I was showing you from 4 years ago, he and I met on Bigger Pockets. We went and had lunch. We did no deals for a year, but now he and I own $5 million worth of real estate together. From meeting on Bigger Pockets, yeah, thanks, Dave. Give me a round of applause. He is pretty amazing. So it's this place, and I've never handed this strategy out before, right? I'm like not in an open forum, but I've always done this strategy just for myself, just for my agents, and it has worked. It has built the most relationships for me than any other strategy I've ever done. And you can see why that works, right? Oh, I figured out how to do it. Okay, yeah. So if Bigger Pockets ever does this to you as you're out there, let me share what I just did here. So scroll all the way down. Scroll all the way down and hit, well, delete that guy's name, John. Great story. Great story in the... And actually, I have no idea. I haven't read it, so I'm not going to say that. Build good relationships with people on Bigger Pockets. You never know who your business partner is going to be. You never know who's going to buy real estate with you. Like I thought when I started this, I wasn't going to have my license. And then I got my license. And then I thought I was never going to help other people. And then I made a whole living out of being a sales agent. And then I thought I was never going to own my own team. I was never going to run a brokerage, never going to train other agents. And then I had 25 agents working under me within a year. And then I thought, well, I'll never be one of those big gurus all across the country training people. And then I was like, well, I guess that's kind of the next step. I guess I got to. And I thought I'd never syndicate deals. I remember thinking, I'm going to stay with just me owning stuff. I'm never going to partner up. I'm never going to syndicate deals. And now I'm building a fund to go syndicate deals. Like, you just don't know. Like, you never know. Make sure you keep putting your name out there. Keep reaching out to people. Keep having conversations. I thought I'd never podcast. I swear to God, I said this. I said I was never going to create a podcast, never going to do that. I was never going to get on YouTube. I was never going to do TikTok, right? I thought like I'm never going to do these things. Those things are bringing me deals, right? TikTok's bringing me deals. Snapchat's bringing me deals. I bought a seller financed house off Snapchat 2 years ago or 3 years ago, right? Like, who would have thought that this game gets this way? Podcast. You know why I do the podcast now? Any guesses? Here's one. I never thought I was going to spend money on my coaching. I spent $85,000 over the last 3 years. $85,000 paying the richest, smartest guys in the country because they don't want to spend time with me unless I'm paying them. And I got to pay a lot. Like, those guys are expensive. But I'm cool with it because afterwards, I make more money, right? I make a lot more money because now I've got the connections. The podcast, though, here's a secret for everyone who's thinking about at some point, you want to get connected with the people. The podcast allows me to get free coaching from the richest people on the planet because I bring them on my podcast and they're like, all right, yeah, I do podcast. Like, that's something they do. They say yes to podcasts. So I get them on the podcast and then I ask questions and they're just promoting themselves. But I'm getting all the answers I want, right? I had a syndication attorney the other day. Thank you, Darina. I've got probably 5 or 6 syndication people on the podcast 2 weeks ago when I went heavy on syndications. Darina's got Rod Cleef coming on the call sometime either next week or the week after. Who knows who Rod Cleef is? Big multifamily guy out of Sarasota. So he's probably the biggest syndication guy in the market right now. She hasn't scored Grant Cardone, so she's got to step up her game, but she's done pretty amazing. Let's give Darina a round of applause, helping me get more people on the podcast, really cool people who are just crushing it in real estate. It's free coaching, right? So like, you don't know what you're going to do a year from now. You don't know what you're going to do 10 years from now, for sure. So just keep focusing on the empire. Keep focusing on what you want. Keep focusing on added value. And if you're looking to wholesale, cool, get your real estate license. Make a little extra cash. If you're looking to be an agent, cool, consider flipping. Consider owning some of that property. If you're looking to flip, consider holding, right? If you're already a landlord, consider seller financing. Like, there's levels to this game and you got to keep thinking ahead so that you can keep getting there, right? When you start looking at where you're already at, you're going to stay right where you're at. We're not in this game to stay still. We're here to grow. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either going up in your income or you're going down in your income. Money doesn't stay flat. Money doesn't sleep. Like Grant Cardone says, it can get bored. So you got to keep it moving. Does that make sense? Inflation is real. If you don't keep your money moving, it will get eroded at. Right? You ever seen a pond, like things get evaporated? Money's like that. You keep it still, it evaporates. You keep it moving, keeps coming back. More and more show up. But if you don't keep money moving, it will disappear on you. If you don't put it in like a good glass jar, but even in a glass jar, you give it long enough, comes out the seal, right? We've seen that before. Money's got to keep moving, and it allows you to invest in things that make you more and more money. Real estate's the way to go. If you are an agent, Bigger Pockets is the investment to make. I don't care what they charge. I think the biggest expense you can make on Bigger Pockets is $100 a month for the pro account or whatever I have, the premium account. $100 a month. It gets me access to clients. Like they literally will say, hey, this person clicked on your account because you're a real estate agent and they want to work with a real estate agent. Like they have these online forms. Anybody seen those? Looking for an agent near you? So they're on Bigger Pockets. They send us the leads. I think I have 30 something leads in there from $100 a month. Worth it. Right? There's no better return on investment because these are not Zillow buyers. These are not Trulia buyers. This is not Realtor.com buyers. This is investors. They're not just buying. Like, here's a problem with Trulia and Zillow and Realtor. Hey, I'm looking for this address. Can you let me know like what the price is? Sure. Okay, and then they hang up, right? Because you're working for free for them. That's all that is. You convert 1 to 2% of Zillow leads. What's the problem with that? They're retail buyers. They buy a house every 7 years. Bigger Pockets leads, they would buy as many houses every year as you can show them to buy. If I could show you as an investor how to buy 5 houses this year, would you do it? If it was going to cash flow, if it made sense. Yeah. I can do that because I do that. I wouldn't teach you something I don't do. I bought 24 last year. This year I bought 3. How many did I buy? They were all multifamilies this year, not condos. 26 units. I know it was a single family.
6 altogether. Yes, 25 plus Anthony Street. Yep.
Excellent. So it's been an okay year. We haven't finished the year, but it's, I wouldn't teach you something I haven't done. Does that make sense? I buy 3 families, 5 families. I bought a 18-door boarding house this year. So my first master lease, never did a master lease before. So now I just bought a building, leased out the whole building, and I pay no expenses on it. It's almost triple net. Master lease is a pretty cool scenario. As an investor, it's definitely where you want to be. Obviously, maybe you don't start off with it, but it's cool options as you get going. So the mentorship is something I do sell. You don't have to buy it. It may not be for you, but hang out with us long enough. Eventually you will. Hands to the camera if you know what I'm talking about. Who's bought into the mentorship already? Took you a little while though, huh? You sat around like, fuck, I guess I'll just do it. And some of you sat around for a long time. In fact, Dave, I've known you for over a year, man. Over a year, coming to all my free trainings, and I love having you here, man. Being able to, so Dave actually just signed up for the mentorship. So give Dave a round of applause. That was cool. So today we got to do our one-on-one session and solid strategy. So what I just taught you, I taught Dave for the first time today. I opened it up, because I'm looking to get to the next level. My goal is to build 100 millionaires in 2021. And the only way I can do that is with a team who's willing to help other people get rich. And for real estate agents, you guys are my people. Real estate agents, wholesalers, you guys are the ones who are out there finding the deals for investors. You're out there hunting, teaching, training. Look, the reason I teach and train is because I was a real estate agent. That's how you get clients. You got to teach people how to make money in order for them to make money. You want to turn somebody into an investor who can buy a lot of property. You got to learn how to buy a lot of property yourself. Does that make sense? Be the person who is a millionaire and you can build millionaires. And trust me, every single one of you can do it. If you stuck around this room in this conversation, you didn't get scared of money this whole time. You're like, all right, yeah, cool. I want to make some equity. All right, I want to do some deals. Then you're the kind of person who can do this. Everybody else, when they saw how to work with investors, they didn't sign up for this call. Does that make sense? You're different. You're somebody looking to build wealth. That's what makes you different. That's why we're here. We're a community looking to build millionaires. Now, you've heard the average. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. What do you think happens if you hang out with 100 millionaires?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You might be a billionaire. Cheers to your success, my friends. If you have any questions, we got about 7 minutes. I'll hang out for about 7 minutes. Any questions you got?
I have a question.
Chris, go.
So I bought my first apartment building recently, and I'm looking to buy another one.
Let's give
But-
Chris a round of applause. Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you. How do I get financing with my credit isn't the greatest?
Dude, I was buying houses.
I'd be able to buy this. Guy gave me a discount and have to make him dinner for like 5 years. But
Yeah. That condo deal I bought with a 550 credit score.
I'm sorry.
That condo deal I was talking about last year, 550 credit score.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm back to 750 because my utilization was high. That's why it was so bad. But
So I mean, what options would you if you were me? What would you go do?
get better deals, man. The only reason you need credit is because you're going through traditional banks, right? If you got enough meat on the bone, anybody will lend you the money.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Hard money, right? Go asset-based lending. Asset-based lending is still going to require a good credit score. What's your score at? Do you know?
It's not better than 550.
Hey, cool. Well, look, at least you know you're where I was, right? Like you're at least close to it. So work on your score. Here's the deal. If you want to do deals in real estate, you got to pay your debts. There's no getting around it. If you want to be successful in real estate, you got to get good at paying debts because real estate is all about debt. It's all about more of this stuff, right? More of these plastic cards, but not the plastic stuff. It's big credit lines. It's big mortgages. So if you want to be successful with a lot of money, you got to, yeah, there you go, Ken. You got to get successful with a little bit of money. You got to be able to be trusted with a couple $1,000s if you want to be trusted with millions of dollars. Does that make sense? So if you want to be successful in real estate, get your credit up. Just pay off those debts. Whatever's stopping you, I don't care if you earned it. I don't care if you deserve it. I don't care if it's 40 grand, if it's 50 grand, if it's 100 grand. For me, my credit cards, when I was at 550, you know why I stayed at 550 for so long? It was $150,000. So when it's $150,000, there's only one thing that'll take that down. That's a good flip or 2 flips. Does that make sense? There's no job you can find that's going to take out $150,000 of credit card debt. You got to do something big. You got to go take down something huge, right? Chris, what do you owe in debt, man? Or, schedule a strategy session with me.
Honestly, roughly about $10,000.
That ain't shit, man. $10,000. Come on. I make that in a week. Right? You can do it. Trust me, you can do that. It's important to know it's possible. Know that people like me out there exist, making $10,000 in a week. You can definitely do it in a couple of months, right? You just got to change something you're doing. You got to play bigger. You got to go do something bigger, right? You can do it. And then once that's paid off, credit score goes right back up. It's like forgiven. There's a little credit work you can do with Lexington Law, like have them go back and pull some things off your credit, missed payments, whatever. Like you can clean that up too. Chris, just set the goal, man. 10 grand. You got your license yet?
No.
Get your real estate license. Go get your real estate license. It'll take you a few months, line it up. But in that time, focus on learning, stay in these groups, like keep learning, keep turning this relationship and get to the point where now you paid that off. And then I'll take $1,000 from you and teach you how to get to the next level. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Hell yeah. Like, dude, what we do as investors is we pay our debts. Your debts are your opportunity and your enemy at the same time. You fight those things down. You destroy them. You crush them. But you always, always go out and get them again. Right? Like no hero doesn't have an enemy. You got to go have an enemy. At some, like you got to have something to fight, right? And in order to get rich, you got to borrow some money. Like all the economy is based on debt. So you got to go borrow money. Like for me and Darina, right? I would not be in a relationship with her if I didn't first say I'm committed, right? Like first I'm committed, right? Now she's gonna be like, okay, well, I'll think about it, right? So it's the same thing with money. You got to say, look, I'm going to pay this. And if you do, then like, oh, here's more money. But if you don't, hold on, wait till you pay the rest, right? That's what credit is.
Sense.
Chris, clean up your credit. It won't take you long. 2 months,
Okay.
1 month, 3 months, whatever whatever you decide is going to take you. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I told Darina told me, she says, babe, I really just want more money in the bank. And I was like, all right, like, I guess what you could do is go and sell some coaching. I do not do one-on-one coaching ever. But I told her, I was like, if you want 20 grand in the bank, I'll donate 2 hours of my life each week for the next 6 months. And I will go and take on 4 students at $5,000 a piece. I'll take on 4 students for the next 6 months, and you'll have the 20 grand in the bank. You'll feel better about your life. And she was like, you do that for me? And I was like, I would do that only for you. Trust me, you and the 4 students that I'm going to take on. And she went in today, she locked it down. So I don't know. I think that there's a few actually on the call right now who may be in that program, and let's give them a round of applause. You know who you are. It's now for me to do that. That means I'm in it for the next 6 weeks, next 6 months, every single week for 30 minutes, grinding, making sure that they're getting to the next level. That's a commitment to make sure that she feels comfortable. Does that make sense, Chris? So whatever it takes, man, like whatever it takes to pay your bills, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's give Chris a round of applause. Great question, man. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being so honest with us. Awesome.
I know we're almost out of time, but can I ask a follow-up question about that?
Yeah. You got 30 seconds for the next call.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you have anything or anywhere about improving your credit or what to do there, but 5-second story. I had a 500 credit rating about a year and a half ago, and I did some
trying to
smart
compete with me?
things, and it's up to 750. Huh?
Hell yeah. I said, what, you're trying to compete with me?
No, it's up to
Yours was worse than
yeah.
mine?
So, yeah, so I just checked it earlier, and it's 740, and for whatever reason, I still can't get decent offers of any kind. My debt-to-income ratio is not bad. I don't owe a great deal. I own my car and only $1,000 on credit cards, and it was giving me the worst offers I could imagine. So I didn't know what I could do there, and if we could talk about that later or something. But I have
Lexington
no
law.
idea.
Lexington law is a way to do it. But yeah, let's jump on the next call. We can just bring that up right in the beginning.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers to your success. If you don't make it, for everybody else, I'll see you there.